Welcome to Plugged In Parents, grades K to 8, keeping kids safe, happy, and healthy in the digital age. We are a trusted guide for the families, educators, and advocates who help kids thrive. We provide resources to harness the power of media and technology and to shape public policy to improve the well being of every child. First, it's important to know that we're all trying to navigate this new world of devices and tech, and it's not always easy. Children are using a lot of media, and parents feel a combination of guilt and anxiety about how to navigate it all.
My name is Justin. I'm 9.5, and I have an iPad, a computer. I also use my mom's phone sometimes. I watch TV and I listen to Sonos. Well, I usually have my media time on the weekends only, and I usually play maybe an hour in the morning. Then I might have 30 minutes watching TV. Then I might have breakfast.
My name is Lauren. I'm 11 years old, and the devices we have in our home are the family iPad, the TV, my phone, the Wii, and my laptop. On weekends, I watch TV. I think I spend the most time on my phone, either playing games or texting my friends. I started using Instagram in sixth grade. One of the things I like about Instagram is that I can see what my friends are doing, and I look at the things that my friends post and post things of my own sometimes. And all of my friends have Instagram.
I usually play Minecraft a lot because you could find ingredients and build something with your own stuff. If I didn't have my media time, I would probably feel kind of sad, and I probably would feel mad that I didn't get it.
What are your biggest concerns about digital media? What are some of digital media's strengths? We have legitimate fears and concerns. However, media can be great and offer amazing opportunities to our families. How do we use media in balance as a family? Find quality content, set expectations around healthy use to prevent conflict, and raise media savvy consumers and creators. Here's the good news: if you're worried about doing it right, you're probably not doing it wrong. Screen time is all about that balance. Ask yourself, is my child physically healthy and sleeping enough? Connected socially with family and friends? Engaged with and achieving in school? Pursuing interests and hobbies? Having fun? Learning in their use of media? Set yourself up for success. What are the best practices around digital media and devices? Use media with your child. Know your own rules. Set expectations and rehearse. Connect media to real life. Talk about commercials and other advertising. Encourage creation as well as consumption. Talk about digital citizenship. Model the media behavior you want to see in your child. Since children are using digital media, we are doing our best to manage it. What's the best case scenario? What do we want them to get out of it? Do we want them to have fun? Do we want them to learn or connect? We just don't want to mess them up. Be choosy. So you've set the stage for success And the good news is that there's great media available. Do you choose to have background TV on? Since you want to make conscious choices, beware of what's on TV if it's playing in your background. Are you concerned about child development and appropriateness? What are you ready for? Think about meanness, scariness, violence, sex, humor, substances, advertising, swearing, and accessibility. What are they interested in? Is your child going to be psyched to use it or watch it? Or are you just trying to stretch their interests? Be concerned about the privacy, safety, and advertising. If it's a game or an app, is there a chat? What kind of information does it collect? Is there a chance that your child could encounter grown up content? Are there ads? Or are there app purchase opportunities? What do reviews and experts say about what your child is using? Is there an educational value? We have learning rates on our site. Visit Common Sense Media. ABCs and 123s. Look for apps, TV shows, and movies with positive messages and educational value. Watching television with your young child or co viewing has been associated with a range of positive outcomes, including learning letters and numbers. Research has shown that parent interaction during an ebook reading plays a positive role on the child's understanding of the story's content. Children can learn from and emphasize with beloved characters, which can lead to positive outcomes like math and science skills and healthier food choices. So, based on all this research, how can parents and caregivers choose and maximize the learning potential of media? In terms of selecting media, it is best when educators are involved in the development, when apps provide feedback, when it adapts to a kid's level, when it's not busy and loud, and does it have a purpose? When it is experience only on a screen, what can it deliver? If a book or a toy would work just as well, it's probably not worth it. When in doubt, stick with the winners. You can't go wrong with Sesame Street and most PBS shows and apps. Some of them have independent research to prove learning potential and appropriateness. Play and view with your kids. Ask about the experience and talk about the content. Are there real world activities that you can do together that could extend learning? Link media to the real world help and have it transfer knowledge and skills. Choose media friends like Daniel Tiger to deliver positive messages. Use our learning rates and information so that you know how much learning potential they have and what skills and subjects are conveyed. All reviews have questions parents can use to start conversations about the content. Declaring independence. As kids get older, they go their own way. Around age 8, children want more independence and they start to develop their own relationship to tech and media. Instead of just watching and playing what you choose for them, they have more opinions about what media they want to use. Lots of children want to play games like Minecraft and Animal Jam that are creative, involving gaming, and sometimes involve connections with other children. Chats can definitely pose risks. Though really extreme cases of predators are relatively rare, more often other children aren't kind or can take advantage of younger children, which presents great learning opportunities, especially if kids are prepared ahead of time. What was most important to you when you were a tween? Was it friends, family, fitting in, self expression, or all of the above? It's the same child development, but more powerful tools. Tweens today aren't that different. They want the same things we did, only devices have altered what they look like. Tweens still rely on parents for support, but they want to try out their independence. Kids start to develop their own relationship with technology. Usage and digital media increases, and kids' media use is not as closely aligned with parents' usage, and this gap grows wider as they grow. Regarding kids' motivation and interest in the various apps, this is a great sentimental share in one of the focus groups. Adults don't get it. They think I'm addicted to technology, but I'm not. I'm addicted to my friends. Kids want to be on these sites because that's where their friends are. That's the whole thing. Ultimately, they've never learned to ride if we don't let them. So we can be the training wheels as they get started. Worst case scenarios are rare, but we still need to arm kids with the tools as they interact online. And starting conversations before problems arise is important to build trust and open an ongoing dialogue so that this trouble happens. If it does, it won't go underground. In the end, we want them to be able to find balance and safety themselves when we're not hovering so that we have to help them get there. A phone to buy or not to buy. Laying the groundwork is critical since the next step is the computer in the pocket. How many of your children already have phones? How many are asking for one? Just to give you some context, the average kid are getting smartphones in the United States about 10 years old. And about 75% of children 12 to 17 have smartphones. For those who haven't taken the plunge, ask yourself these questions. Do your kids show a sense of responsibility, such as letting you know when they leave the house? Do they show up when they say they will? Do your kids tend to lose things such as backpacks or homework? If so, expect that they might lose an expensive phone too. Do your kids need to be in touch for safety reasons? Would having easy access to friends benefit them for social reasons? Do you think that they'll use their smartphones responsibly? Can they adhere to limits? Will they use text, photo, and video functions responsibly and not embarrass or harass others? What are they doing anyway? You saw some stats earlier in the opening video. Tweens use an average of 6 hours of entertainment media each day. That might mean an hour of social media and an hour of television happening at the same time. Since a lot of media use is part of the multitasking, but that number doesn't include the time on a device for school. Research confirms that we assume as a gender gap among teens online and gaming behaviors. Girls dominate social media, and though they are less active in gaming, girls do access games. In another report, 59% of teen girls report that they do play video games. Overall, though, social media and gaming are popular. TV, video, and music are still most used forms of media. Let's talk about social media. Myth or truth? Social media alienates kids. Myth. Social media can strengthen relationships. It can be used to do good in the world, such as organizing around a cause or using an app. Most kids are just having fun. 57% of all teens have made new friends online. 84% of boys who play networking games with friends feel more connected when they play online. 68% of teen social media users have had online friends support them through tough or challenging times. So, what are they using now? Kids are diversifying and often shifting their use of certain sites and apps. In 2015, there was a report saying that 71% of teens use more than one platform. Many kids might not be active posting and sharing on some apps, but they are reading and watching what other people do. Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook are most popular, but live streaming videos and chats are on the rise. If your kids are using social apps, we recommend that you use them too to get an idea of what kind of content they're exposed to and the mechanics of the tools. Don't worry if you can't keep up. Knowing titles is great, but looking at key features of an app is even more important. For example, is it age appropriate? Are there public default settings? Are there location trackers and sharing? Are there real-time video streamings? Are there ads and in-app purchases? Are there temporary pics and videos? Are there subpar reporting tools? Can children be anonymous on the sites? Is there cyberbullying and negative cultures? Self reflect before you self reveal. It's hard for children to think about their future selves before posting, so we need to help them. All of these impulses to be part of things can lead to some poor choices. Kids and their friends often share and post before thinking of their future selves. Think of what people post as a digital tattoo. It's persistent and searchable. 40% of college admission officers check applicants' social media profiles. Self reflect before you self reveal. Manage digital footprints with privacy settings. Start with the device app itself. Discuss privacy and location settings, the importance of thoughtful, selective privacy settings in social media apps, and how to be careful about accepting people as friends. Check your device to see how your location is being tracked and used. Keyboards can make us careless and cruel. The apps themselves are one thing, but the people using them are another. We grew up with bullies too, but screens sometimes make it easier to be mean, and devices have amplified the effect and search research of cruelty. The Center for Disease Control estimated that cyberbullying affects about 15.5% of high school students. For comparison, about 20% of high schoolers experience in person bullying at school. If your child is being bullied or face negative online behavior, the best approach? Make sure that you know how to report the abuse in the app as a first defense. Peers sticking up for peers is the best defense, so whenever possible, encourage upstanding. Take screenshots and get adults involved. If it's ongoing or safety is threatened, contact the police. If your child is the culprit, treat them as if you would other negative behaviors, give consequences, and find a way to make amends. Keeping our kids safe. The worst case scenarios exist, but they are not the norm. 20 to 54% of teens have sent or posted sexy pictures of themselves. Most sexy pictures are sent to a significant other. 51% of girls say that they felt pressure from a guy to send sexy pictures. 30 to 40% of teens say nude photos are shared beyond intended receivers. 9% of kids received unwanted online sexual solicitation as of 2010. 4% of kids have online interactions where a predator attempts to make online contact or offline contact. Let's talk about digital citizenship. The best solution to cyberbullying is to teach kids how to be good citizens. Digital citizenship is multifaceted and includes elements like safety, privacy, media, literacy, creative credit, communication, cyberbullying, self-image, and reputation. You're already teaching your kids to be good human beings, but there's an additional layer to that lesson when kids are behind a keyboard. It's easier for children to be mean or say things that they wouldn't otherwise say. The basics, you're part of the community. Put good into the world. Don't stir up trouble and be a force for good. In other words, think critically, behave safely, and practice responsibly. Schools can be a helpful tool in teaching kids digital citizenship. Common Sense Media has free curriculum on their sites for both tweens and teens that can be used in school or at home. There's some iffy stuff out there. Beyond social media, there are other concerns. Research does show a small correlation between violent media and aggressive behavior, which is especially concerning when there are other risk factors, like violence in a child's real life. Strong sexual content can also create a more permissive view of sex and reinforce sexual stereotypes. A child's body image is somewhere impacted when they are as young as 5 years old. We are ultimately going to be the ones that have to deal with the nightmare, worries, and questions when kids see things that they're not ready for. So, prevention is the path to least resistance. So, how do we combat the content we're concerned about? Choose. Help kids make good choices. Check. Check what they're doing. Chat. Follow up with a chat. We can help find great media for you and your family and get answers to those pressing questions. Just visit Common Sense Media. Use of media. Don't let it use you. 50% of teens feel addicted to technology. 59% of parents feel teens are addicted. Over half of teens multitask while doing homework, and most believe it doesn't hurt the quality of their work. Over 80% of parents and teens feel technology makes no difference or helps their relationship. There's also the fear of missing out and the social media anxiety. Those are real for teens. Myth or truth? Parents have to model how they want devices to be used and to stick to the rules themselves. Parents spend less time on devices than kids and teens. Actually, parents spend over 9 hours with media daily, including personal and work use. 7 hours of that time is devoted to personal screen time. Tweens spend on average of 6 hours a day, and teens an average of about 9 hours a day on screens. Kids are highly skilled when it comes to sniffing out hypocrisy, and tweens are especially good at calling out their parents. So, model the behavior you want to see is your first priority. If you are setting solid standards but don't like what your kids are doing, monitoring their media use is the next best step. Think limits, not lectures. Communicate, don't corner. And since we want to teach our kids to make positive choices when they are on their own, it's time to step back and mediate rather than jump in every time there's an issue. Does your family need a media agreement? If so, visit Common Sense Media. Think about device-free dinners. Dinners are a healthy way for families to connect, to develop healthy eating habits, improve academic performance, and reduce problems with behavior and substance abuse. When all else fails, tracking software might too. Technology is going to help you, he says, but it's not going to get away from the fact that you should be having more conversations about this with your kids. Instead of shutting everything down, build it up. Since this is all a process and tech changes so quickly, you can also visit our site to get more information. Again, that's Common Sense Media. You got this. Don't forget that we are all in the same boat, trying to navigate through these shifting challenges. In the end, it comes down to the parenting basics. There's no one right answer, and you know your child best. Thank you.